and whiskey. Okay, so watch the keys. You can see I've got bronze and a silver key. In fact, I'm going to hold them back here and watch. As you can see, one vanishes and jumps over like that. Transposition from one to the other. So this is super clean. It's great for social media. Let's get into how to perform this basic performance of Scotch and soda. Ha! This basic performance of Scotch and whiskey. Keep it in. So this is the explanation of the second basic handling, which is perfect for social media. Again, it's the same setup. Find those two lines, magnet, separate, remove magnet, you're good to go. Now, you're going to put this into your hands. Like before, this is the same sort of vanish, the flick motion vanish. The only difference is, as we're doing this for social media, we want the reappearance to be way more visual than just going under a bottle. So all you're going to do is take the extra key and pinch it between your fingers like this, and the reappearance is super simple. You're just flicking it up with your thumb like that. So, and what's really nice about this is that you could create a distance. Can you see that distance there? So as you flick this forward, and you cause that one to vanish, you flick that one up at the same time, cleanly showing this, and this could be watched on repeat on social media, which is exactly what you want. You want to up that retention time, you want to get as many views as possible. The fact that it's so quick, so visual, the aim is that you want people to watch it again and again and again, and ultimately, that's how viral videos work. And this is just so perfect for virality on social media, because you've got that visual vanish and that visual appearance with a great distance there, all in one single frame. So then when you're scrolling, you can really grab people's attention. So one more time, as before, use the magnet to separate them. Don't need the magnet no more. Over here, it's just trying to get the choreography of both parts at once. It's the flick motion here, backwards and forth really quickly. I did that slowly and for some reason it still connects. And then it's just flicking this part up with your thumb and just playing with the framing with your camera. That is how you could do a really nice basic performance for social media using Scotch and whiskey. Now let's get into the advanced studio handling of Scotch and whiskey. It just adds a few extra layers to the effects, adds more effects to it. Let me show you. So here I've got a bronze and a silver key. I'm gonna take them off the key ring because I want to show you a quick trick with them if that's okay. So I've got silver and I've got bronze, and it's sort of like a little game. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take them here. I'm gonna do this as fairly as I can. I've got silver and bronze. I'm gonna close my hand, I'm gonna take one out. Ooh, which one am I gonna take out? This one, the silver key. You can see the silver key. So which means the game is this. It's called Find the Silver Key. I've got the silver key in my right hand. Where's the silver key? Well, if you said my right hand, you'd be wrong. That's the bronze key. The silver key actually jumps back across to my left hand. I understand, it's very quick, Let me do it again, let's make it fair. Again, you can see I've got the silver and the bronze key. I'm gonna close my hands up, I'm gonna take one out. I'm gonna take out the silver key again. Again, it's called Find the Silver Key. Where's the silver key? They're probably gonna say this hand because that's what happened last time. No, over here there's no key. In fact, the bronze key doesn't even exist. There only is a silver key. It's crazy you got that wrong. There's only one answer, it's over here. And if you're wondering where the bronze key is, well, it was under the bottle again. It's always under the bottle. The answer is always under the bottle. And that is a more advanced performance of Scotch and whiskey. So this is the teaching for the first advanced handling of the Scotch and whiskey. We have a really nice transposition-like effect that has a kicker ending. So first of all, same as always, separate your gimmicks, get rid of the magnets, and place the bronze key in a place to reappear at the end, and put these gimmicks onto your key ring to start. I won't do it now, but imagine these two are on there to start. And to start the performance, you take them off. So you take them off, and I'm in this position here. So although it looks like I've got a silver and a bronze key, from behind, I've got a shell and I've got a silver key. So all I need to remember is the shell one is the silver and the one that is actually silver, I'm referring to as the bronze key, okay? You want to put this bronze key on top of the shell and place that on your hand, okay? So it looks like this. And what you're going to do is you're going to close your hand, and in the motion of closing your hand, you're going to turn these over like so, like that. And that happens all in the motion of closing your hand. So you're going to have them there separate, showing the bronze and silver, close your hand, and in your hand you want to try and, I actually didn't do it that time, how embarrassing. You're here, you're going to turn them over. So then it looks like this. You've got the shell, you'll be able to feel it because the shell will be poking into your hand, okay? So then within your hand, you want to grab the bottom key, which is now the bronze that's turned into silver because you've turned them over, okay? So you reach in, and it's very easy to find. You just don't pick up the shell. You just push this shell off, and you pull out what looks like the silver key, okay? It's the bronze one. Okay. You then do whatever pattern you like, where you could say the game is follow the silver key, follow the bronze key, or you could say, like, where's the bronze key? And they'll obviously say this hand, or you say, where's the silver key? They'll say this hand, and the trick is so easy to do. You can either do this like so, which is basically the exact same thing. You're closing the hand and turning it over. Or if you really like, you could take it up here and do a visual change where you literally, just in a motion of shaking like this, the key changes. And it's really simple. You're just turning the key over, okay? This hand stays as it is. The only thing you do in this hand is turn it over, okay? So that the shell, you don't want to open this hand and show a shell. That ruins the trick, in case you didn't realize. So in your hand, you're going to turn this over, okay? So you're having to multitask here. This is why it's a little bit more advanced. Okay, so back to this position over here. Let's go back again. Bronze and silver, close your hand, they turn over. You take one out. You've got the silver key here. I'm now turning this in this hand. So watch the silver as it now turns into the bronze one, and the silver one's back over here. Okay, that's phase one of this advanced handling, and it just involves turning the keys over without them noticing. Okay. As you go to do this for the second time, this is where the kicker ending comes in of the vanish and reappearance of the bronze key. This time, instead of having it this way round, you're going to put the bronze on the bottom, okay? Like so, the bronze is going to go on the bottom. So now when you close up your hands, oh my word, it just wants to do it so naturally. Okay, it's done it so quickly because the magnets are so strong. It's too good. It's too good. So this time, like I say, you put the bronze down and you put the shell over the top of it, okay? He said, this time we'll try it again. Now, instead of turning it over, what you're going to be doing in your closed hand is, you can see they just want to connect anyway. That's going to happen in your closed hand, okay? So all you then have to do is take out the gimmicked silver, leaving nothing in your hand, but keep this hand closed because you want to pretend the bronze is still in there. And again, you've sort of conditioned them. They think they know what's going to happen. You know, you've done it once, they expect it to happen again. So they expect this to turn to bronze and the silver to be over here. So do the exact same thing again. Say, where's the bronze? No, or the silver. The silver's over here still. The bronze has actually disappeared. And then, of course, it reappears, this time under the bottle. But again, it could be anywhere you like. So that is the advanced performance. It's a transposition followed by a kicker ending transposition where they don't just transposition between hands. They literally vanish and appear somewhere completely different. So let's go further into detail about these advanced handlings and what you can do right now. Okay, so this is now the additions to the advanced handlings. So obviously I haven't got a spectator here, but you could do this in a spectator's hand. What's great about this is you can either do it without the key ring where it's in their hand, and it should. You saw how strong those magnets are. If they close their hand, they should just connect very easily. Like it's so impressive. But if you are nervous about them connecting, you can leave this connected to the key ring. And what happens is, because as the key ring is, it sort of lines everything up. If I put that on there like this, you can see it's all lined up. So if I separate them again, you could do this in a spectator's hand. And this is where a way to do it, so it's a guarantee in the spectator's hand. As they close their hands, you ask them to close it tight. So it's not connected right now, I know, because I know the trick. But I say, if you keep them to keep their hands tight, as you slowly pull this out, this will connect at some point. You can see it's connected there. Okay? So then they will go like there's nothing in my hand. And so you can make the vanish happen in their hands. Okay? Now, let me get these back off. Now, to go further into like this advanced setting, depending on how confident you are. What's really nice about this is as you're doing this in the spectator's hands, you have a lot of control. So what you can do is you could place these two in their hands to start with and say, what is that? As long as you've got strong audience management, they'll say 2 keys. But as you're putting it on, you can load this key under their watch very easily. If you want to look up, there's a lot of tutorials out there called a coin under watch. You can look into all of that, and it's the exact same principle, but with a key. I won't be going too into depth with that. It's quite a ballsy move when you have quite experience, but it's easier than you may think because they're so focused on there. You've got mad misdirection to just load that key under their watch. Okay. So you can place this here, and you can do the exact same routine. You can put this key on top. You can get them to close their hands, and you can. You can go here. You get them to close their hands, and then you can reach in. And as you reach in, you can square everything up. You say, "Watch, I'm going to take one out. Which one have I taken out? The silver. Where's the bronze?" They're going to go, "There's nothing in my hand." They'll realize it vanishes. You say, "Oh, it was a quick trick. Were you watching?" And it'll appear under their watch. So play around with doing it in their spectators' hands, depending on how confident you are. This is more advanced. You can play around with the transpositions of the keys, the reappearances in their watch. If you're really confident and they've got a top pocket, you may know about loads into top pockets, into pockets if you're feeling more confident. Just it's put pocketing. Look up put pocketing. You can even do a landing on the shoulder, the classic. If you don't know about this, there's a trick called coin on shoulder. Again, I don't want to go into like the full performance of how to do that. Look that up, coin on shoulder. But basically, it's a way of just loading the key onto their shoulder, and you're guaranteed for them to freak out. Apologies for the ambulance in the background. I'm in London. It's constant. Here it is. Yep, keep going. It's constant. I'm trying to do a tutorial here. Thank you. Anyway, those are the advanced handling of that performance. Please do try and play it out. It's so powerful in their hands because, of course, the moment this connects up, it's fully examinable. They'll be looking at this. It's been in their hands. It's so impossible. It's guaranteed to freak them out. So those are the additions to the advanced handling. Now let's move into another effect entirely using this utility in another advanced effect. Now here's another performance you could do using scotch and whiskey. I'm going to take the bronze key, I'm going to put it on the table like so. I take the silver key, put it right next to it like that. And you can see it's a glass table with nothing else on top of it and nothing else below it. But watch, if I just put my hand over it like this, you can see that one just passes straight through the table like that. Both fully examinable. Scotch and whiskey. So this is how to perform a key through an object or something, because it doesn't just have to be a table. Again, it just shows how you can keep using scotch and whiskey in different ways, and it's very easy to do. So again, we're going to separate the gimmick, like so. So I've got the gimmick here. Again, hide that magnet. And the way that I did it in this performance is I put the non-gimmicked key up my sleeve, like so. So it's just down here at the moment, okay? So it's very easy to do, very easy to do. You're going to put the bronze one down first, the silver one down on top so it's ready to line up and make the bronze key vanish. Now all you have to do is get this key into this hand, and it's very simple, just using gravity. I'm just going to turn my hand and catch the key like this. Oh, it's quite hard to do it for camera, but just believe me, it's falling and you catch it like so, okay? But that of course is hidden by me showing there's nothing under the table. So in that motion, I've caught the key. I can then hide the key as I then show this side. I'm just hiding that in my hand there. Okay? And then all you have to do is make the top one vanish and make this bottom one appear. And to do that is really simple. Underneath your hand, you're just going to bring this up in line with it, and you're just going to square up these keys. okay? So then when you remove your hand, you can show that the key has gone straight through, okay? It's very easy to do, and then of course then both are instantly fully examinable, okay? So one more time, but a bit quicker this time. Put this here. This key goes up the sleeve, and you're ready to perform. Bronze key goes down, the shell goes over the top, like this, but you don't square them up yet. As you've got misdirection down here and misdirection down here, you catch the key, don't do it slowly, you have to make sure you're here to catch that key to then show there's nothing underneath there. Don't worry if it's a bit everywhere, they don't know what's gonna happen. So you've now got the key in this hand, then all you have to do is square this up, and you've got a really nice penetration there. Now it's really nice and really clean on a glass table, but of course if it's not a glass table, you can have this already pre-stuck underneath there. So you can have a completely hands-off, really clean effect where you come up with the two keys like this. You can place them down on the table. You can show nothing in your hands. You can come up. You can show that one vanishes. You say, where does it vanish? And you can clearly and cleanly, because it's stuck to the table, seemingly pull it through. So that's if you haven't got a glass table. Of course, if you haven't got long sleeves, you can always just very simply keep this palmed, just like a coin palm, and just don't show the side of the hand, as you then come up and do the exact same thing. So you don't need to have long sleeves. So that's another consideration there. And now if you haven't got a glass table, what do you do then? Again, it's very, very simple. T-shirts. This is a really nice one, really nice addition here. So you can do this on the keyring or off the keyring, but I'm going to show you a really visual way to do it on the keyring, okay? So first of all, we're going to separate these, okay? And then what you're going to do, you're going to ask a spectator to hold out their T-shirt. Now, it has to be one without buttons, so I'm going to have to do it on the side here. And you want them to hold out their T-shirt like so, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to put these keys onto their T-shirt like this, okay? Can you see that there? It's quite hard to do it for the camera here. And you're going to take this key and go underneath. Now what you can do, if you want to risk it, you could try and flick this in the air, and they can sometimes connect, but I'm going to just show this really cleanly for the camera now. You secretly have this in your hand, you say, do you want the bronze or the silver? Use magician's choice, of course. So if they say the silver, you say, okay, I'll leave the silver there. And if you say the bronze, then you say, okay, watch the bronze key. You come up, you grab it, you can see that one goes straight through the T-shirt. They will instantly want to grab this key because this will be their T-shirt. It's incredibly visual, it's so easy to do, and it's great for a penetration. So yeah, it doesn't need to just be a T-shirt. You could do it on the it doesn't just need to be a table. You could do this on the spectator's T-shirt, and when they're holding it out like this, it's really good when you're standing up in a close-up environment. If you're out at a club or a bar, everyone can gather around it, and it's so highlighted, it's so easy to see. Especially if they're wearing a dark coloured top, which I would recommend, because then the keys are they pop so much, and you can visually see one vanish and you pull it through. So yes, this gimmick can also be used for some amazing penetrations. So yeah, give that a go, try it out, it's so easy to do. Just a quick additional point, when it comes to performing with the spectator, make sure you've got good audience management. Remember, if they're too drunk, that could be a hassle. So you need to judge their character, because of course, the moment you put this on their T-shirt, you don't want them dropping this and dropping the gimmick, because as mentioned before, we don't want this thing breaking. Plus, if they're moving around too much, it can mess up the trick as well. So when doing this on a spectator, whether that be in the hands, or especially when it's in the T-shirt, when they could just drop it and end up breaking your gimmick, make sure you've got really strong audience management with really direct instructions with what they should do, and just control them very well. So yeah, just be very wary of like how unpredictable some spectators can be.
So this is the deluxe section of the teaching. So if you're watching this, you've got the deluxe package, which means you should have an additional bronze ungimmicked key, an additional silver, but this time ungimmicked key, and an additional keyring. Now with this, you're able to make your tricks more convincing, a bit more deceptive, but also from performing the effects, we've worked out ways to preempt the spectator so you have an extra little kicker moment, which we will go through right now. So first of all, I'm going to take the ungimmicked silver key, which of course had to get specially made as well because it matches the gimmick entirely. However, it isn't a gimmick, so you can't get this from just a regular store. But they've even made the indents match the gimmicked key. You see that there, okay? So this is what you can do. We're going to take the ungimmicked silver key and an ungimmicked bronze key, and this time the extra kicker is you're going to make them both vanish and both appear. So just like before, we put this underneath a cup or underneath a glass or under their watch or in a pocket, you're going to do that again, but this time it's perfect if you have two spectators / you're this is where we preempt. We know what they're going to say and you give them an extra kicker. I'm going to show you what I mean. So for this example, I'm going to put the bronze in my right pocket and the silver into my left pocket. So let's just pretend that spectators A's glass and spectators B's glass as well. So now you could do the trick where you take the two keys. You could do either the additional or the transposition first, or you could get straight into the visual vanish. So just this explanation, I'm just going to do this first. So you've got bronze and a silver key. Watch as the bronze completely disappears. Do you know where it disappears to? Underneath your cup, which of course they'll go, wow, that's appeared underneath my cup. And you can say, yep, check that out. At this point, there have been moments where they will go, oh, do it again. You know when classic spectators say, show us again. This time you can just say, well, of course this time there's only one key. So all you have to do is take the one key, put it into your hand, watch as it completely vanishes. Where to, you may ask? Under your cup this time. They don't realize how ahead of the game you are as they reach in and under their glass or in their pocket or under the watch. There's now the completely ungimmicked silver key that also reappears. You've hit the once and you're hitting them again. So that is something you can do with the ungimmicked silver key, okay? Because of course, there may be part of them that says, I'll just do it with this one, just do it with this one. And now you can, because you've got that ungimmicked silver key. Here's the trick you could do with the additional bronze key. So you should have now two ungimmicked bronze keys. Now what this means is, first of all, you're going to take one and you're going to hide it under a glass or somewhere. For now, this example, I'm going to put it on the corner of the table. And this other one we're going to use in the performance. But first, using the gimmick, you're going to have it separated and you're going to put the shell in your back pocket. So put the shell in your back pocket and then the gimmick here, have it on the silver side, and you are now ready to perform, okay? So remember, this other ungimmicked bronze key is hidden somewhere. So it could be under their glass. We've thought about this a lot. Just hidden somewhere ready for a finale, that extra kicker. And this is a routine you could do that. So I've got a silver and a bronze key. Watch this. I'm going to take them at this. I'm going to close my hands. I'm going to take one out, which is going to be this one over here. And here's the gate. You have to follow where is the bronze or the silver key. So if I open up this hand, the silver is over here. And if I open up this hand, the bronze is over here, okay? But watch carefully, because I close my hand. Blow. That's a bit cheesy. You don't have to do it. Don't do the blowing. But you can see now the bronze is over here. Which means if the bronze is over here must be the, oh, no, that is now the bronze, which means the silver is back over there. Let me do this again, but this time I'm going to create a bigger distance between them. In fact, I'm going to leave the silver over here. I'm going to take the bronze key. I'm going to put the bronze key behind my back. Okay? So I've got the silver key here, and the bronze key, you can see this, is behind my back. Now watch the silver key. You see that there? Watch 1, 2, 3. Now that that's bronze, behind my back should be the silver key. Was that still again too quick? Don't worry, I'll try it again. We'll take the bronze and the silver key. We'll close it up. I'll take one. I'll put it behind my back. Now have a look again. Which one's behind my back? See, I've got the silver key on my back, which means if I've got the silver key behind my back, in this hand should be the bronze key. And that one completely disappears. Where to? Underneath, or wherever you want to make it reappear. So basically what we've done here, it's very simple. Let me just separate this again. Through having the additional key, this shell is in the back pocket here. And what you can do is, when you're doing the routine, obviously we know about this key turning over. You're bringing the ungimmicked key behind your back, okay? And while you're doing the trick, well, this one is silver, and all you're doing is turning it over, turning it bronze. You're taking this ungimmicked bronze key, you're dropping it into your back pocket, and just stealing out the shell, okay? And by feeling the shell, you should be able to tell which way round to have it. So, like this. So the moment that this silver key that's in front changes to bronze, you can turn around and show that the silver key, and they have indeed actually changed place. Now what you do is the classic ending, but this way you've got an ungimmicked key in your back pocket, which you're going to pretend doesn't exist anymore because you know where it's going to reappear. Now what you can also do, you can close this up, you can actually take it out and bring it behind your back and then make this one vanish. Or you can pretend to take a key out, put it behind your back and show that it's vanished behind your back. And again, you are left with just the silver key, which then makes the bronze reappear. And you need 2 of these keys in order to do that, because of course you can't have it reappear in your back pocket. It's not that impressive, knowing that your hands have quite literally been behind you in your back pocket. So now let's get into how you can use the extra key ring as well. Okay, so now with the additional key ring, what you can do with this is if you take the additional ungimmicked silver and ungimmicked bronze, take them both and put them both onto the key ring, like so. And then if you take the 2 gimmicks, and we'll put them onto the keychain like this. Give me 1 second. Oh, let's see how good. There we go. Very easy to do. Now what this allows you to do is, with this, you can be examined before the effect. Now obviously this makes the trick completely examinable thanks to the incredible gimmick, but thanks to the additions, you can now hand these keys out and be like, oh, just got my house keys, or you can leave them on the table, wait for someone to pick them up. If you're at the pub with your mates, I'm sure they'll like stop. If you leave your keys there, they may nick them. Maybe that's just my English friends. Maybe we're just horrible to each other. I don't know. But just leave them out. They can be fully examined beforehand. And all this means is, as long as you have these keys, the gimmick keys, in this position, remember what we talked about, how they're on the opposite side so that they don't connect. You can have this in your hands like so. So after they've looked at it and examined it, there's no heat on this at the moment. There isn't a trick. These are just your average keys. You could just do a really simple retention switch there. So as you're throwing it round, you're just holding onto it with your thumb and bringing these other keys back into view. So thanks to having this, you have it fully examined, looked at, be like, yeah, they're my house keys. In fact, little shoes are very cool. Let me take them off for you. You take them off. And you say, oh yeah, okay, watch. I'll try a cool trick with this. And then you get into any of the routines that we've talked about before. So basically, it starts you clean, it ends you clean, and there's, as you can see, with these extra additions, there are so many more possibilities you could do with it. So that is the deluxe set. You get the ungimmicked silver key, which doesn't exist. We had to have that specially made. Additional bronze and an additional key ring, so you can have it fully examined before and after. So that is the deluxe set. So welcome to the final thoughts and ideas. I'm sure we could tell by this teaching, there is so much you could do with this Scotch and whiskey, and there's no way I can name them all right now, but I'm going to just spitball some thoughts and ideas that I'm just remembering off the top of my head. So some being, you could do this not just as like, of course we talked about penetrations, vanishes, appearances, transpositions. There's so many little things you could do. But you could also just, as a very simple color change, as an effect in itself, it's very simple, it's very easy to do. Just turning over the key, whether that be visually or just in your hand by turning it over. This is something, of course, we talked about in the advanced performances, but you don't actually need to do the whole key part. This gimmick is so well made because it's got the bronze and the silver part. You can just very simply do a nice key color change. So that's a nice additional thought. There's something I thought about with the phone as well. You could talk about how it's a pain always carrying your keys and your phone. In fact, I always get my keys mixed up. So you could take this, make it vanish, and then make it just reappear in the phone like that. So one of the keys vanishes and it's inside the phone. And that's, of course, just a quick 2 photos of a black background and then a bronze key there. And all you're doing in your hands is to vanish in your hands as you're here. vanish your hand as you then make it reappear like so. So you do involve technology if you want to make a more tech performance, which I know that's very much a growing thing, especially London. It's very much a growing thing in performance areas at the moment. So yeah, you could do it as like quick visual changes, involve tech if you want to, really mess around where you can make it reappear. Like we've talked about, obviously under the watch, on the shoulder, in the pockets, under bottles. You can even do it as a penetration into a bottle. Using a fraction of water, you can put this key in there at the side. You won't be able to see it. Take the two keys. You can make it be a penetration into a bottle. You can mess around with other tricks that are out there on the market. I could just keep going on for days. You can make it reappear anywhere. The possibilities are quite literally endless. I literally can see a straw there. This could perfectly fit along the end of a straw. Play around with that. Or maybe even on a headphone wire, those old headphone wires, you can maybe fit that through and make this bronze key fly towards the silver key down the line, making it vanish very visually and instantly. Maybe combine that with the phone. Really play around with this. I really do believe there's so much you could do with this gimmick that this tutorial could be 10 hours, but trust me, you don't want to listen to 10 hours of me. I'd get incredibly boring. So play around with this art, and I want to really see all the ideas that you have, so please do send any my way. I'm sure Hansen Chen and the team would love to see them as well. And when you're posting about it, try using the hashtag Whiskey Miracle. We thought it would be a good idea to use that hashtag rather than tagging a magic company, because of course the last thing we magicians want to do is advertise that we can buy magic. I wouldn't recommend doing that at all. So hashtag Whiskey Miracle, that way we're able to see it. Any additional ideas, we'd love to hear about them. There's so much you could do with it. Play around with it. And if you don't love it, you're wrong. I don't know if I can say that. Can I say that? No? You'll probably cut that out? Keep it in. I'll take the blame. I love it. It's amazing. It's a great gimmick. I really hope you guys enjoy playing with it as much as I have. And I'm genuinely so grateful and thankful to the team at Hansen Chen and Calvin and that actually made this sort of reality, because I love it so much. And thank you guys, because without you guys, wouldn't have been able to make it reality. So, yeah, play around with so many ideas. Scotch and whiskey, you're a legend. Hansen Chen is a legend. Calvin's a legend. We're all legends. You're a legend. Everyone's legends. And you're a legend at home for purchasing this and trying these tricks out.